All right, welcome to another episode of the Chart Readers. We are continuing our weed sector technical analysis video. This is Sandal and High Tide. Real quick, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages. These horizontal support and resistance lines I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. Otherwise, look, I sincerely appreciate your time and let's get into this. And I normally say this at the end, but if you disagree with anything, throw it in the comments. I'm not here pretending I'm perfect or all knowing. I'm more than happy to hear your opinions if you disagree, and you very well might be right and I might be wrong. So please don't hesitate if you've got a different opinion, okay? Look, getting into Sandal, clearly you don't need to be much of a technical analysis person to know this looks really bad, right? What I really want to talk about is actually these couple days right here, okay? So look, when first off, this is riding the 8 pretty nicely, right? It then loses the 8, but like it's supposed to, it uses the 20 as that bounce point, right? This is the critical point right here, because as I zoom out, oh, and it wasn't as I assumed this wasn't going to be here. I'll be real honest. But let me just keep zooming out, okay? This 100 really hasn't been broken except for this moment right here. There were a few little things here, but clearly that's the only sustained uptrend break since pretty much back here. Not even pretty much, right? Since, man, actually, I can even keep going even further. Jesus, I did not assume that. Okay, wow, you can see how little I know this one that well. But look, this 100's no joke, okay? And what I wanted to focus on was this again, right? Because if you're gonna break 2 lines on a single candle, you need monster confirmation. I say that often, right? And clearly that was anything but it, right? You gap down below the 2 lines you just broke. You basically start right under it. When you end, you've completely taken that, and you've pretty much taken, oh, you're like, actually it was under it. Look, this thing is actually under 50% candle of this. What did this close on? 230. What did this close on? 230. And it closes right on the top of that, okay? So that right there, I'm already worried. This day right here, you actually lose both the 8 and the 20, right? So that is pretty strong confirmation to that. And I'm telling you, ejection plug, if you're on a jet, right, you gotta hit eject pretty soon. Clearly from there, the last couple days were well under it, and today was just an ugly candle, right? Not much to say. It's only 7, I don't want to say only 7%, that's a lot to lose, but this looks like a much more devastating candle than just a 7% loss, you know what I mean? So very ugly this might be one of the worst MACDs. I think most of the MACDs in the sector are a little closer to this point, where it seems like the green is ready to go under. It's kind of on the 0, but not quite under. This is probably the first one where the MACD and the RSI look mirror to mirror bad, and you have that real bad, well over the 50 moving average volume. So Sandal just looks really, really scary right here, actually. This 199 for sure seems like it's the next place it's going. What I'm doing is zooming out to see, oh man, 140. So if 199 is lost, what's this number here? Yeah, it's not enough to redraw. Yeah, if 199 is lost, 140 seems like it's very, very likely. Sandal, there's really not too much to say here. Again, I think this 3-day was the big focus. If you're going to break 2 lines, you better give me good confirmation. That's far from it. And then dropping and losing all of them, come on now, right? So this was pretty avoidable in all honesty. What does the weekly look like? Look, we've seen this on a couple charts, man. This 20 and 8 is no joke, right? If you're under both of them, it's really difficult to do great things. And look, Sandals on that like brink of meme stock. I don't know how high it is on the meme world anymore. I feel like the meme list shifts faster than I can really keep up with it. But yeah, there were moments when this thing just, again, you see it here, right? In the 80, in the 70 millions, right? In the 70, 50 millions. And then there are days when it's just like, what, 10, like you can't. 7x less than, you know what I mean? So, and then look, even back here, and there were definitely days, and again, I don't know if this is just kind of falling out of the meme love, but Sandal is definitely just not in a good place. It really seems like that 140 that we were just talking about is just very likely, because again, oh, where'd I go? Yeah, right there. Sorry. Once you lose this, that's like 186 if I remember correctly, right? And then red, 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 red generally turns into red, 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 especially if it's a quick green fill right there too, right? So, and really most of those like historical numbers are several, like I have to zoom out super, I don't even have to zoom out that far. Oh man. Yeah, this is not looking good. I'll put one right here. We'll put one on the top of this candle. Maybe this 170 range can stop the 140 fall. I'm glad I at least zoomed out. We at least gained one more support line. $2 loses, 170 seems very realistic. 170 loses, 140 seems realistic. We need to bounce on one of those. Otherwise, if you lose 140, I'm telling you, all-time lows is the worst place to have your money, okay? So be careful with Sandal. And hey, if this is actually out of the meme world, let me know so I can stop saying that on the next videos. High Tide. You know, I'm telling you, I've come to secretly love this stock a lot. I have no money in this at all. The volume is just a little too low for me to like really play or swing any of these, but I can tell people really like the stock, and I am sincerely rooting for this thing. With no money attached, so it's very easy to root for it. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of bad happening right now, right? So how would it have been avoidable? Like let me start here. So right here, if you look in the box right there, the RSI is 83. I very often say 83 is generally that max number that says, hey, this thing is overbought and it's time for it to cool off. I generally think that's magnified a little bit more when you're dealing with, and I don't want to call this a penny stock and offend anyone, but it is a penny stock. Generally people say something under 5 is a penny stock, under 3 is a penny stock. For me, I think a penny stock is just, I kind of associate it with volume. So maybe I shouldn't call it a penny stock, but it's just a low volume thing. And if my 50 moving average was a little closer to a million, I might feel a little comfortable. But yeah, when you're averaging around 200K, around 100K, it's hard to use technical analysis, and I'm always a little extra cautious. So once we're in that 80 and it looks like 80 was like, that's an 81 right there, then we went another day up and got to 83. For me, that just seems a little much. I would find it hard to believe there's going to be another one. Obviously, it's much easier to say that knowing that it came down and red, right? But just I am being genuine, and I say it often in at least comments and stuff. I'm not. Is this thing an over the counter? I don't even think it is an over the counter because you got 4 letters. But yeah, volume matters a lot, especially with technicals, right? Right now, where are we at though? We're in a bad place. We've actually been under the 8 for what looks like 7 days, right? 3, 6, 7 days, technically under the 8. We've now, this day went back over, but we've now closed under the 20 for 2 days, and today was the first day we actually fell under all 5 moving averages. All that together is very bad. That is not a good MACD. That's probably the biggest gap on the MACD. This one's just not in the negative quite yet, but it seems like it's about to be, right? RSI again is doing the same gap down we've been seeing, and yeah, for the most part, there's been a good amount more selling than buying really since all of February. So a lot to be worried about right here for sure. It looks like this 130. I'll zoom out to see where that line came from, but this probably seems a little more of a 39. It's only 2 cents. I'm probably not going to move it unless it seems. Yeah, I will move it actually. We'll move it up to here. So 139 seems pretty realistic here. What I do want to see is what happens after 139. Man, okay, so after 139, there is a lot of reason to believe you're going to come down to 1 real quick, basically the top of this big candle. If 107 is lost, that green will be real quick red, right? You're going to come very quickly down. So 139 is a really important number to hold. 107 is obviously just super critical, and that's a pretty heavy drop, by the way, from 139 to 107. I know it only looks like a couple cents, but 13 cents is 8%, right? So I mean, that's a decent way down. Roughly speaking, you're going from like 140 to 1, right? That's almost a 40% drop. So I would very much be worried if 139 is lost here. Again, I have no money in this, but I sincerely root for this stock, probably more than most that I have no money in. So I wish you all well. I'm sorry I have a little bit more negative news here, but hey, again, if you disagree, let me know. Let me know why, right? But yeah. That's all I got to say here. I appreciate your time. I hope you're learning. Obviously, more videos are coming soon.